Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god. Number 10 Miami upsets number 2 Ohio State 24-14 reaction. I shouldn't say I'm surprised because I kind of had a feeling this would happen after they got shut down by Indiana's defense, and Miami has a bunch of future NFL players on that defense. Reuben Bain Jr., bunch of players on that defense, but I still expected Ohio State to win. I still expected them to play better than they did, and they played better offensively in the second half than they did in the first half, but it just wasn't enough. Their defense couldn't get a stop on third down there. Miami ran all over them. They had 153 yards rushing tonight. Ohio State only has like 80-something yards on the season. And Miami just ran all over them tonight. They were the more physical team. You know, Ohio State threw punch back in that second half, cut to a 3-point game, but then that holding penalty on one of their drives about 6 minutes left kind of fucked it up, I thought. And then Miami just ran all over them on that last drive, got some key third downs, and then they ran in for a touchdown. Ohio State let them score. And Miami, though, they've showed up in these big games. Like Ohio State disappointed with the way they played tonight, but let's talk about Miami against ranked opponents this year. W versus number 6 Notre Dame, number 8 South Florida. You remember they were ranked in the top 10. Florida State, Pitt, Texas A&M, Ohio State 6-0. Some of these teams didn't end up living to the ranking, but it shows Miami shows up in big games. They have thrived. Like, I know they had those 2 losses, SMU and Louisville, but after that, I felt they got back on track towards the end of that regular season, and they showed up on the road, and then they beat at Texas A&M, and then they beat Ohio State. Like, their defense only gave up 17 combined points in 2 games. So, credit to Miami, but I'm kind of noticing a trend here. The college football teams with a bye in the 12-team format are 0-5. Rest is crucial for football teams, but too long a break is negative. Ohio State, I shouldn't say won that football game after the first quarter. Like, they played better offensively than they did in the first half, but Miami was just able to coast those. Like, Ohio State started too slow. But it was 0-0 after the end of the first quarter, though. It was 0-0. It's just Miami drove down the field, got a touchdown. But Miami felt just confident because they were just running, and then they got the touchdown there. Got the touchdown to start the second quarter, and then a 76-yard pick six. But I've kind of noticed with this isn't just Ohio State. It's kind of just teams coming off a break, like not playing for a month. They just started too slow. Man, imagine we see Carson Beck, Georgia next round. But Julian Saint in the last 2 games just didn't play well, man. 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 43-64. The offensive line didn't help either. Obviously, like the offensive line wasn't great, but this doesn't even feel real, man. Miami is back. Like, Carson Beck didn't stuff the stat sheet, but that was probably the best game-managing performances I've seen from him. He hit so many clutch passes on third down, scrambles, took care of the football against a historical defense. And look, Carson Beck didn't do anything to light up the stat sheet, obviously, but it's better than him being aggressive like he normally is, just having bad interceptions, just risky throws. And he didn't have any of those tonight. He made clutch passes on third down, scrambles, took care of the ball. After that loss to Michigan last year, still making the playoffs is what stemmed Ryan Day from keeping his job. Obviously, he did what he needed to do to win the national title. Losing as a 20-point favorite at home and still making the postseason was the break of the century for Coach Ryan Day. I don't think he should get people. I know people are going to call for his job probably after this game, as if they didn't win it all last year. Sometimes it's just hard to go back to back, man. Still disappointing, obviously, but Miami just more physical tonight. I was just disappointed in Ohio State's defense today. If they lost time, but it won't be solely their fault, but they just couldn't buy a stop on third down. Defense was just disappointing. They couldn't get a single stop on third down, cannot stop the run. And I felt like in that third quarter, I felt like Miami's defense is kind of getting a little bit soft, but they got a huge stop when they needed it when it was 17-14 and then run the clock down. Besides Jeremiah Smith and Bo Jackson, nobody really showed up, honestly, for Ohio State. Like, Sayin had a pick six and then an interception at the end. I mean, he got his, he threw, but still, he didn't really play too great tonight. Jeremiah Smith, it was pretty much Jeremiah Smith and friends. But yeah, man, I'm an absolute idiot for picking Ohio State. Absolute idiot for thinking they were unbeatable. I didn't think they were unbeatable. I just found it hard to pick anybody over them, besides maybe Indiana. Absolute, what an idiot I am. But yeah, Miami Hurricanes, I guess you could say the Hurricanes blew away the defending champs. I just can't believe this happened. Miami going to the semifinals of the college football playoffs. Next week at 7:30. They'll either be playing Ole Miss or Georgia. But their defense played pretty good all night. Besides that, those two drives where Ohio State scored, their defense was sensational tonight. Like, they got so much pressure on Julian Saban. Reuben Bain Jr. is a monster. He's going to be a high pick in the NFL draft.
What are your initial thoughts on what that next game could be like for you?
Man, it's hard.
I'm sure the SEC fans will be happy about this loss. But man, the college football scriptwriter's going crazy, giving us Carson Beck and maybe Georgia. But just crazy, man. Let's go over the stat sheet. This is a fun. I didn't give my thoughts on the game yet, but it was a solid game. It obviously wasn't as good as the other games I've recapped today, but it was a one-possession game there in the fourth quarter. Still an exciting game. First half was Miami dominating. So, let's go over the stats now. It was a solid game. One possession game in the fourth quarter. Let's go over the stats now. Miami, they improved to 12-2. Scored 24 points. They advanced to the next round. They had 0 in the first quarter, 14 in the second quarter, 3 in the third quarter, and 7 in the fourth quarter. Carson Beck, 19-26, 138 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, had 7 runs, 23 yards. Like I say, he didn't like the stat sheet tonight, but he made some big third down plays with the arms, scrambling. Made some big plays tonight. Mark Fletcher Jr., 19 runs, 90 yards, 4.7 a carry. Mark Fletcher Jr. has been big these first two games of these college football playoffs for Miami. Besides that one fumble, he was good tonight. Charmar Brown, 5 runs, 26 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 1 catch, 5 yards on a big third down as well. Gerard Pringle Jr., 3 runs, 12 yards. They had 153 yards on 37 carries, 4.1 a carry, and a touchdown. C.J. Daniels, 5 catches, 49 yards. Keelan Marion, 5 catches, 36 yards. Mark Fletcher Jr., 2 catches, 25 yards, and a touchdown. Malachi Tony, 5 catches, 16 yards. Josiah Trayer, 1 catch, 7 yards. And Charmar Brown, 1 catch for 5 yards. And the kicker, Davis, who was ass in that Texas A&M game, made a huge field goal in the third quarter. Defensively, though, I mean, their defense, 5 sacks, 7 TFLs. You had 1 sack from Reuben Bain, 1 from Lightfoot, 2 from Massador. Massador has been phenomenal as well. Bessathane, 1 sack, and you had, I think that was it. 7 TFLs, 1 interception from Keontae Scott with the pick 6. Jacoby Thomas, the clincher. Carter Davis, 1 for 1 on field goals, made all 3 of his extra points for Ohio State. Their season ends at a 12-2 record. All that dominance all year, and it just last 2 games went to shit. Julian Sayin, 22 of 35, 287, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Threw that huge pick 6 in that second quarter after a big play to Jeremiah Smith. He didn't have his best last two. The last 2 games were rough for him after a really good season overall. The O-line didn't give him the greatest protection tonight, but he still wasn't great for sure. Bo Jackson, 11 runs, 55 yards, 1 touchdown, 5 a carry. I thought not enough runs for Bo Jackson. C.J. Donaldson, 7 runs, 31 yards. Jeremiah Smith, 7 catches, 157 yards, 1 touchdown. Carnell Tate, 3 catches, 37 yards. Ennis, 4 catches, 34 yards. Donaldson, 5 catches, 31 yards. And Will Kasmerick took 3 catches, 28 yards. Defensively, they had 2 sacks, 4 TFLs, half a sack from Sonny Styles, and 1.5 from Edric Houston. Jaden Fielding 0 for 1 on field goals. Ohio State fans hate this dude. I don't blame you. Definitely frustrating watching Ohio State games when he kicks. And he missed a field goal before halftime, but even then they probably still would have lost this game. But Ohio State ends their season 12-2, 0 in the first quarter, 0 in the second quarter, 7 in the third quarter, 7 in the fourth quarter. But they fall just short. It was a one-possession game in that fourth quarter, but they had a holding. I don't know if that was holding, but there's probably other calls that were holding that they missed, so I'm not really going to complain about the refs there. Ohio State just started too slow in this game. No, it was 0-0 after the first quarter, but Miami went down, got a touchdown, then a 72-yard pick six. It's just Ohio State started off too slow in this game. They got better in the second half, but the defense just could never stop the run game. Reuben Bain wrecked the Buckeyes O-line rep after rep. In this one, they were more physical. They ran all over Ohio State's D-line. Ohio State scored 41 points in 3 games against quality defense this year. A team that has Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith has put up better numbers than that, man. But we'll see what happens in the offseason with this team. But let's go over the team stats, and then we'll call it a night. Let's go over the team stats here. Miami had 18 first downs. They were 7 of 14 on third down, really efficient on third down, 1 of 1 on fourth down, 291 total yards, 5 yards a pass, 153 rushing yards on 37 attempts, 4.1 a carry, no penalties. They had that one turnover, that fumble at the beginning, no interceptions, 33 minutes time of possession, but no penalties tonight. Ohio State had 18 first downs, but they were only 3 of 10 on third down, not as efficient on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth down, 332 total yards, 8 yards a pass, 45 rushing yards on 24 attempts, 1.9 per carry, so they couldn't run the ball at all. Both lines of scrimmage got dominated. Two penalties for 15 yards, 2 turnovers for 2 interceptions, no fumbles, 26 minutes time possession. But 24-10, number 10, Miami upsets number 2, Ohio State in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. In this first college football playoff quarterfinal, we have 3 quarterfinals tomorrow. I believe Ole Miss, Oregon, Texas Tech, Alabama, Indiana, and then Ole Miss and Georgia, the 3 games tomorrow. But Miami was the more physical team today, executed far better on special teams, and it was Ohio State that made the critical pick 6 play. And the wide receiver blocking for Miami was good as well. Even they were physical. But yeah, that's all to say for this game, man. 24-14, Miami gets the win. Leave a like, comment, subscribe for more. Peace, and have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.